Hey everybody, welcome to my channel. I'm Stacy. I am going to go over the book A Flicker in the Dark by Stacy Willingham. He's never going to have his cycle. He's never going to experience. And I like this book. I really love that book, but I'm interested to see. I don't say they drug for the family, but they were very fancy. But I will read this book, give it a chance and see. Kindle, I downloaded Verity. So I have the first 3 books of those, which I do plan to read soon. At the end of this video, I'm going to bring you guys with me to our book club meeting, which was held here at Lamora in Covington, Louisiana. Okay, first, you guys, let's talk about the author, Stacy Willingham. Her name is spelled S-T-A-C-Y, just like my name, which I appreciated being spelled S-T-A-C-Y. She is a New York Times, USA Today, and international best-selling author of several novels, including A Flicker in the Dark, All the Dangerous Things, and the upcoming Only If You're Lucky. Before turning to fiction, she was a copywriter and a brand strategist for various marketing agencies. She earned her BA in magazine journalism from the University of Georgia and MFA in writing from the Savannah College of Arts and Design. Her work is currently being translated in over 30 languages. She lives in Charleston, South Carolina, with her husband, Britt and Labradoodle, Manco, where she's always working on her next book. I read it on the Kindle. This was a fiction. It was a mystery. It was dark. They say tense. To me, it read kind of mid. Some people say it read slow, but it read very mid pace for me. I was recommended this book, like I said, by 2 different book clubs. I started September 15th and I finished September 17th. So in like 3 days. Would I read this book again? No. Would I recommend this book? Yes. If you're into like a thriller, it wasn't too dark, but they did have some, I say pedophile nods, but not heavy into that. It was just like briefed over. None of the characters were really depth or there was no deepness to them. It was a basic thriller. So if you want to read something else, go for it. This one was pretty much predictable. It wasn't like you had to read this or you missed out type book. No, the characters and themes that resonated with me, I would say the female FMC, the female main character, she had no common sense and they dumped her down. And I hate when they do that. They just like from the start, you like, okay, why is this girl so dumb? And it just kind of emotions it brought up with me. I was annoyed most of this book. But I was curious. So it wasn't like a bad annoyance. I was just curious. I don't like when they do a build up, like a cliffhanger for the whole book, and you want to know who done it the whole time. And you kind of know already, but it's just like slow. One of her books again. The book that I'm going to read next is going to be All the Dangerous Things, and it's available on Kindle Unlimited too. Amazon gave this book a 4.5, of course. Goodreads gave this book a 3.8. Storygraph gave this book a 3.38. The mixed characters, I don't know. It wasn't really diverse. It was set in Louisiana. They talked about Breaux Bridge and different parts of like Baton Rouge and the outskirts, not just New Orleans, like most books that talk about Louisiana does. So I did like that, but it didn't give it any, maybe it gave it a little sprinkle of flavor, but it wasn't screaming Louisiana in this book. But I was craving crawfish because she was talking about them a lot, and I love crawfish. But they out of season, so you can't get any crawfish right now. You can do a crawfish etouffee, but it's just off of the frozen packed crawfish, not the ones we actually peel. So yeah, maybe if I read it like in the spring, I would have been more like, oh yeah, let me go get me some crawfish like right now, and I would have ate them and peeled them and sucked the heads and tails and all that good stuff. But no, it was not. The setting didn't really make a difference in this book. It didn't scream at you, although they talked about backwoods and stuff like that, and we have a lot of backwoods in Louisiana. It was mixed character driven, I would say. The story, did it have strong character development? Yes, too strong because it took a long time to get to where she was going with it. Lovable characters? No. Flaws in the main character? Yes. So I'm going to leave my rating. You already know where it's going. It wasn't a 1. I just say that. But it wasn't like a 5 either. Take that, take it or leave it. I just can't give away my true rating just yet because we haven't had the book club meeting. That's going to be tonight with that one. And then my other one is in a couple weeks. So, the book description. A New York Times bestseller. It was recommended by 2 book clubs that I'm in. My book club with my friends, which is the nerds, which we call ourselves. It's the North Shore, essentially reading diverse group, and Oprah's chance to pick the book. So she picked A Flicker in the Dark. And I kept running into this group of ladies in town at the Second and Charles penny per page sale. Also, I ran into them at the Costco book counter because we just got our books back at Costco. And everywhere I'm looking at books, I kept running into these same group of ladies. And I'm like, okay. I keep seeing them early in the morning. And I'm looking at books and they're looking at books. I went to Silent Book Club meeting around the 4th of July. And that was like one of the first time. But they weren't silent at all. They were talking a lot. So we were just talking about books the whole time. So it's like they changed it to the Not So Silent Book Club. So I went to that one. They usually have that meeting on Saturdays, but I work every Saturday. This group of ladies basically was like, Stacy, let me get your number. Why don't you read with our book club? And I was like, oh, I'm already in a book club, so no thanks. So I kept seeing them, and then I'm like, okay, sign me up. So I ended up going and committing to this book club, and they're also reading the same book as my main book club, so it made sense to just, okay, I can do this one because y'all are reading the same book, A Flicker in the Dark. They have a bonus book called Culpability, which I read that one first. Or I read that one within the time frame. We're going to meet tonight with both of these books, Culpability and A Flicker in the Dark. My group, we won't read A Flicker in the Dark until like the end of the month. So I still have like 5 more weeks before we even go over A Flicker in the Dark. We have a bonus book for our main book club. It's called Hold My Girl. Hold My Girl by Charlene Carr. And I haven't read this bonus book yet, but I'm going to read this book after I'm done with my palette cleanser that I'm on right now, which is the X-Hex. Because I've been reading a lot of historical fictions and thrillers, and I'm just like, okay, girl, you don't want to get in a slump. So I need like that, something to just erase all the stuff that I've been reading and just give me like something that's fun. So A Flicker in the Dark. This book, a smart, edge-of-your-seat story with a plot twist that you'll never see coming. Stacy Willingham's debut will keep you turning pages long past your bedtime. That's what Karen Slaughter said. And I read her book, False Witness, and that book was kind of like, okay, girl, that was intense. Wasn't the best thriller that I read, but it was thrilling and it was long. I do remember that. So that was one of the blurbs on this book. Here's the synopsis. When Chloe Davis was 12, 6 teenage girls went missing in her small Louisiana town. By the end of the summer, her own father, he confessed to the crimes and was put away for life, leaving Chloe and the rest of her family grapple with the truth and tried to move forward with dealing with the aftermath. Now, 20 years later, Chloe is a psychologist in Baton Rouge and getting ready for her wedding. While she finally has a fragile grasp on the happiness she's worked so hard to achieve, she sometimes feels as out of control of her own life as the troubled teens who are her patients. So when a local teenage girl goes missing and then another, that terrifying summer comes crashing back. Is she paranoid, seeing parallels from her past that aren't actually there? Or for the second time in life, is Chloe about to unmask a killer? From debut author Stacy Willingham comes a masterfully done lyrical thriller, certain to be the launch of an amazing career. A Flicker in the Dark is eerie, compelling to the very last page. So that's that. A Flicker in the Dark. I mean, it screams thriller. So if you or your book club is looking for something to talk about, you can. But it's just, to me, it was very basic. Nothing to go run to the bookstore for.
So I'm going to the first book club meeting, which is in Slidell. In Old Town Slidell is the area, at the bookshop. It's on a Friday night at 6 o'clock. And I came after I got off from work. I was very tired. Friday at 6 o'clock, I am already showered and in bed. But I decided to go and hang out with these ladies this afternoon. So here we are, going to the first book club meeting for Flicker in the Dark. And I'll tell you guys that they did not enjoy this book. It was like a 2. They said the same thing that I thought, that it was, well, they said 7, but 7 out of 10. But nobody really finished it, and they were talking about all kind of other stuff. And I'm like here for the book club and talking about the books and what we read. But yeah, they said that the main character, she was very basic. She was doing the most with the pills and the drugs, and she should have known. She was too naive. And also they complained about them putting Obey seasoning on the crawfish, because we in Louisiana don't use Obey. We use Zatarans and Tony Satchers, but never Obey. And also she steamed her crawfish. We don't steam our crawfish, we boil them. Hey friends, let's make a boo basket together. This is going to be for someone in my book club meeting this time. Welcome, get cozy. First, you start out with an empty bucket or basket, and you can decorate it however you want. I chose to put like a little ribbon around the handle. This blanket, I got this from Kohl's. It's the Book Lovers blanket. It's the oversized one. And I thought it would be very fitting for my book club member, but you can put in Halloween, or if you want to do Thanksgiving, Christmas, Valentine's Day, whatever kind of blanket that you want for the person that fits them. So I started with a blanket like that. I added some fluff into the basket, and also I put some gloves, and this is my candy. It's the candy apple because my book mentioned caramel apples in it. And the Wicked candle, it's from Bath and Body Works, fitting with the book that I chose, and they smell very good too. The cup, I got that I think from Five Below. This sweater weather, these were also from Bath and Body Works. I prefer that smell on your body versus the Book Lover smell. This is the final project with the book inside, the X-Hex. Y'all know I've been on my X-Hex. And look at that hand sanitizer, my witch socks, and I fit everything in just for my person in my book club meeting. We went to Lamora. It was a scratch kitchen in Covington, Louisiana, off of 190. And we went there for brunch at 1 o'clock. So here is the location. This is the baskets. We had 6 baskets. This is our bonus read, Hold My Girl. Appetizer, hot wings, seafood dip. That was pretty good. The cheeseburger with fries, A Flicker in the Dark. And this is my book basket that I brought home. Got the book The Favorites, which I will be reviewing soon. Look how cute this was in the bathroom area. Hot mess. Very cute. So if you're ever in Covington, Louisiana, check out Lamora.
Let me update y'all on our recent book club meeting on A Flicker in the Dark. I already did my review and what I thought about it, but I'm going to tell y'all what the girls thought. So overall, in general, everybody loved the book. We gave the book as a total stars of 3 stars. It was very memorable. We love the setting in Louisiana. We didn't understand how the daddy and I can't give that away because y'all got to read that part. But it was like a brother, a sister, a dad, a mom, her fiance, a detective in this book. So everybody's character was very clear, and it had a good flow of the story. This was a perfect debut novel. We all agreed that she did a great job with putting this book together. And the writing style was clear. The plot had you like, okay. There was a lot of plot twists in it, but not too much. But it was definitely a really good thriller. And everybody agreed that they enjoyed this book. We went to a restaurant in Covington called Lamora. And we also did our book basket exchange. Finally, yes, we did our book basket exchange. I'll show y'all the book that I put Wishful Thinking in my book. And Courtney is getting my book. I got Oprah's book, but I also got another book that somebody else already had, but she wanted it as a trophy. So I'm gonna read it and I'm gonna give that book to her, and I'll show y'all that book in the end. But this is my basket that I got, my boo basket. So I got this cup, and it has like the glass. And this is probably gonna be a TBR jar for me because I break these. I'm clumsy. So it's going to end up being a jar, a TBR jar for me, but not like a drinking glass. I got this candle, and this is going to be one of my reading candles whenever I read these 2 books. It's called Ambra Saffron, and lucky it was from Marshall's. Smells so good. I like that. Some chapstick, coconut chapstick. Some Tootsie fruit chews. I like these. I'm going to snack on this while I am reading my book. Also, these cookies, the sharp bread. Y'all know we love these sharp bread cookies. That's going to be a time. Some cozy socks, because it is getting cold. And these, I've never had these before, but these are like high-rise liners. But they're kind of thick, so put those on. And this is the book that I got in my book basket. So she might not have a famous name, funding or finding or family support, but Katrina Shaw has always known that she was destined to become an Olympic skater. I'm not going to read all of it because I don't like to read the synopsis on the back because they be giving away too much in the book. So read this very soon. And this is my boo basket. Now, my other friend, she got one by my girl Alyssa Cole. She didn't get this one. She got her other book in her basket as her book that she won, but the person who gave it to her gave her an extra book in that basket. But she said she read it already, and they called me in my book club, they call me the Kennedy Ryan hater. I am not, but I did not enjoy Before I Let Go, and This Could Be Us. I just don't know why I didn't like the toxic relationship. They broke up, got back to, like, I don't like this. It was second chance, but I already knew what's going on. I was like, this is the most simplest book I ever read in my life. And I'm not a Kennedy Ryan hater because I like her outside of the books. I just like, okay, it was too trope heavy. I keep saying it was too trope heavy. But this is what the not bonus, but the extra book that she got. So I'm going to be reading this book soon. And I'm going to try to not be a Kennedy Ryan hater and enjoy the book. So I'll read this in my upcoming TBR for November. So that is it with our book club meeting, and I'll post my review on what I thought about A Flicker in the Dark by Stacy Willingham. She does have another book called All the Dangerous Things on Kindle Unlimited. And I'm going to read that book as well and possibly do a book review on that book too. But yeah, All the Dangerous Things is on Kindle Unlimited. But I haven't started it yet, so give me time. But as the book club, everyone would recommend reading something by her. But that's it, y'all. Thank you guys for watching. Like, comment, and subscribe.